After being burned alive by Randy Orton at TLC back in December, The Fiend was resurrected by Alexa Bliss. And he came back as Jason 2.0, burnt to a crisp, this ugly mask that I have a graphic of right there. And now The Fiend will get his revenge against Randy Orton in a regular wrestling match. They haven't built up a Firefly Funhouse. They've said nothing like that. The card still says a singles match, so looks like that's what we're getting. No Firefly Funhouse, nothing of that. No Bullocks. No BS. Just a wrestling match. And if there's one match on the card that probably shouldn't be a wrestling match, you would think it would be this one. But Trevor, how disappointed are you? And how disappointed are you, honestly, thinking that this might be a wrestling match?
I'm super disappointed because remember we've been talking about it for weeks. I feel like almost a month now about how this match, like the follow up to their meetup, and how good the Fiend's character has been, how good the storyline's been. But it as I touched on last week, and you did well, it's hit a lull. It has hit a lull, and it's sinking to be super low, and it's almost to the point where you're not interested anymore. And then you bring the Fiend back, you showcase this new mask, and he's all burnt up, and he wants his revenge on Randy Orton in a wrestling match. That makes absolute sense. This man that was burned alive, supposedly, and he's been making Randy Orton cough up something that looks like oil for a car. Like, it's just... We need more action.
Don't get me started.
We need more action.
You know how much I hate that gimmick.
Oh, that shit is so stupid. It's dumb. Like, we need something more than just a wrestling match. Like you said, Funhouse match. Or, like, let Randy Orton wrestle in a viper pit. You know, he is the Apex Predator. Let's wrestle somewhere. Let's do something. You know what I mean? Like,
dude, it's... It's disappointing because... You mentioned it. This is a trend that's been happening with The Fiend over the past year. Ever since So the last match at a pay-per-view that I can remember, other than TLC, right? That The Fiend actually had a performance where you were like, oh shit, this is awesome, you know, and it lived up to the build-up, was John Cena at WrestleMania 37 or 36. The match, Firefly Funhouse. But then the feud with Bray Wyatt, it was built up very good. Then they had their swamp match, and it was And then, you know, they went to SummerSlam. They had the Fiend won the title in the squash regular wrestling match, and that's what the Fiend does. He wins his squashes in singles matches, which is fine. That should be what the gimmick is when he's wrestling singles matches. But what you've noticed is that at pay-per-views, when the Fiend is built up to wrestle, it always underdelivers, and like, that's the sad part, because it's not the fault of Bray Wyatt as a performer. It's not the fault of Randy Orton or who he's wrestling. It's just they put him in a situation where I don't think anyone really could succeed. And for this feud, we saw the Fiend on fire. In an Inferno match, he was on fire, and he still ran over and gave Randy Orton the big claw. And then he was burnt. He was burnt to a crisp. And then we saw Alexa Bliss resurrect the Fiend. And now he's going to get his vengeance in a wrestling match? Like, come on. Like, you had a chance, WWE, to have floating turrets on the Peacock Network. How's that for your standards and practices? You had a chance to have floating turrets, which, like, come on. They robbed us of another Firefly Funhouse match, which, okay, that's bad enough, right? But on top of that, you're not even gonna have like a hardcore match, like
or unsanctioned or something to that level. You know what I mean?
It's
anywhere falls count anywhere. I quit something.
Last man standing, you casket match. Give me something. Bury alive. Do a boneyard match, brother. Right. Like, give me something to work with. Don't just say, like, oh, well, yeah, the Fiend, brother, he's gonna wrestle. See? Anyone who says I don't like wrestling matches, I like wrestling. The Fiend's gonna wrestle. Like the one person who shouldn't be wrestling, just to have him wrestle.
Exactly, he's gonna wrestle.
It's infuriating because this is the like when you the big draw of the Fiend, I think, is this type of psychological warfare. I think that's the big draw of the Fiend. He's you don't have to have him wrestle. He can do this kind of cinematic stuff and make it work. And I think the reason we're seeing this possibly is because there's fans back at Mania and maybe they want to get a big pop from the Fiend.
Right.
And okay, what I would like to see maybe if they're gonna go down this route is like maybe like midway through the match, like the Fiend transports Randy Orton somewhere and like they do some sort of thing maybe like. But what I don't want to see is like a repeat of their match at 33, where like where they did the gimmick with the cockroaches projected onto the ring. That was like killed that crowd at WrestleMania 33. Oh my God. And you know what? It's the same people again. And Trevor, who should win this match and who's gonna win this match?
Oh, what'd you do?
Go ahead.
Bray Wyatt should probably win this match. It would be more fun that way, even if especially if it was a actual like match of interest. I believe Randy Orton's gonna win it.
Oh, why do you say Randy Orton's gonna win it? That's interesting.
Well, the only reason I think Randy Orton's gonna win it is because one, what else would anybody else think? They think Fiend's gonna win, right? Yeah. What would be the big like fuck you? Randy Orton win it.
Okay. So I understand. Okay. So you're going into this thinking that WWE. Okay. I know. We already know they don't give a shit about their audience. That's fine, right? But you're going into this thinking they really don't give a shit about their audience.
No. I mean, even not saying taking anything away from Fiend Bray Wyatt's skills, actually, because he has skills in the ring. But honestly, if it's a match of interest, Bray Wyatt wins hands down. He's supposed to win that. I mean, Randy's supposed to win that with those matches too. But I just think that's one of those things that we've already fucking pissed off what's going on with it anyway. I think that's a big like, take this, you fans. If Randy actually wins, I mean, I want the Fiend to win, but
To quote Vince McMahon, you don't like what you like. You like what I tell you to like. And I mean, look, I've been wrong before, but this looks like it's going to disappoint, and it's again a wait. It's if it does, and if they only do a singles match, it's a waste of this entire build. Because because I mean, look, you got to do something, man. Like you can't just like let's be honest. If it's a straight wrestling match, the Fiend is just gonna go over. It shouldn't. Basic psychology of like the way that these two have been built, especially the Fiend as a character. There's no question the Fiend squashes Randy Orton. Because nothing you do affects the Fiend. Right. Like that's one thing we know. The Roman Reigns is like freaking speared him. Braun Strowman did like 5 like whatever press slams on him, did not affect him. Now we all can't be Goldberg with his suplex, right? But like that killer man, like that destroys even the biggest and boldest of enemies.
Oh, it has.
Only in Saudi Arabia though. It's only effective in Saudi Arabia against the Fiend. But I don't think that this is. I don't know what good can come out of it. It's like, the Fiend wins at WrestleMania, woohoo! But it's, again, not what we want. It's not what we expect, and it's at this point, it looks like it's guaranteed to disappoint, and that's sad because we all love what the Fiend's doing. This horror gimmick, the Firefly Funhouse match, was amazing last year. They should do something similar this year, but they won't.
They won't. Nope.
Thanks for watching this video from Real Take Sports Talk. Remember to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Also, remember to check out our live show every single Thursday at 8 p.m. right here on the YouTube channel. And remember, keep it real.